This is Crystal Rae. I'm live in Las Vegas with Todd Pierce. Todd is with Riding High Ministries, and he's the chaplain for the PBR.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
Thank you.
So, you travel the circuit, the Built Ford Tough circuit, and you take care of who?
My primary focus is to be there for the riders and the staff. Obviously, they're on the road nonstop, and they're outside of their normal lifestyle, and just to provide them not just with church services and that sort of thing, but just being there as a guy that cares for them as an individual and not just as an athlete. Obviously, in an industry like this, they're celebrated because of what they do in the arena, but they've got lives outside of the arena. And so I just feel like I'm kind of the older brother that's here to just have their back and give them some wisdom whenever they want it, but mostly just be in the trenches with them.
I bet you've seen some gnarly stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot that happens, but realistically, I got a huge admiration for these young men. They come into the sport very young, a lot of times naive, and they're hit from a lot of different directions with a lot of things that could wreck their lives. And just so many of these men, they really do want to live a life that's going to honor God. They want to take care of their families. They want to honor the gift that God's given them. They want to use it as a way to encourage other people. So the PBR has just provided us with a great platform to use their position as bull riders to actually impact the communities that we go to.
Can you tell us a little bit about the way that PBR has given you an outreach ministry at some of these events?
I don't know if I could say enough about the PBR in this, that there's very few sports that actually give me a ministry access to the fans the way they do. They open every event in prayer. They keep it about God and country and family, and that this is something that a lot of people have died to pay the price so that we could live in a nation that's like this and be free. And so the way they want to honor that as an organization, it is outstanding above any other organization. And so we get to do outreach services at the actual competitions where we'll do faith nights. I'll do a presentation where I'll actually start a cult, and it's an illustrated message that gives the gospel. Also, just being able to be there on a regular basis for the guys behind the scenes. That's what gives me the opportunity to build relationships and hopefully love and encourage the men.
So this Sunday, I hear that we actually get to hear you preach before the world champion is crowned.
Yeah, it'll be Sunday morning at 8 a.m. and obviously all the fans are welcome. It's something that we provide for the fans and the riders and staff. Adriano Moraes, three-time Brazilian world champion, he's in town, and he's going to be speaking that morning, as well as Jody Newberry, who's a great athlete that got injured and that ended his career, but he's going to be able to tell his story. And so we invite everybody to come out for that as well.
And that's going to be at the Thomas and Mack Event Center, 8 o'clock Sunday morning, correct?
Pavilion, yep. It's attached to the Thomas and Mack. Cox Pavilion is right there, and everyone's welcome to come.
And of course, it's free.
It's free.
Can you tell us a little bit about the cult starting? Because you were telling me earlier that it's actually provided you with the opportunity to go overseas and do an outreach that a lot of us don't think about sometimes, but many people in our world understand the relationship and the connection and the communication between a cowboy and their horse. But tell us a little bit how that transcends the language barrier.
Well, I guess I can give probably the most radical example would be in the country of Burma, which is a very war-stricken country that I went to. These people have never seen an American cowboy. They don't know anything about horsemanship. But what they did see, actually it was a mule, because they didn't have any horses in the jungle. They found a wild mule for me to break. And with a bamboo round pen that they built, I was able to do this presentation, and they could see the gospel in that as long as I could provide a place for this horse to understand that I love him and that I've actually got something I want to teach him, then he would come to me and learn from me. And that's what Jesus did, is he gave us an opportunity to come into relationship with God as a father so he could teach us. And so beyond the language barrier, the cultural barriers, the people got to see what happens when there's an atmosphere of love and safety, so that God actually does love you and wants to communicate to you, that they came into give their lives to Jesus and begin a relationship with God as Father and learn how to live lives that are free, not just from a political standpoint, but free in a way that sin doesn't have its its hold on you anymore.
It's probably a sort of freedom that they had never even been able to wrap their minds around before.
No, they don't have TV in the areas where I'm at, so a lot of the thoughts that we have never even entered their mind, and they don't even have the ability to dream the way that you and I get to dream. And so for me to be able to provide an event that in a very, it's an hour presentation, an hour for them to be able to see such a transformation. They actually can dream and believe that maybe God has got this for me, which I actually believe that he does. And now we're seeing the results of that is that there's a people filled with hope and joy that they never would know apart from Christ.
That's so amazing. I'm sure it's life-changing every time you go and do one of these events.
Yeah, I say that I'm actually the number one student in it because I can't manipulate the horse. All I can do is love it and make it feel safe. And the rest of it's up to the horse. And so every time it shows me a different aspect of God's nature and where I fit in on all of that, because I'm still just a man that's trying to continue to honor God with my life and let him be a father to me. And so it's life-changing for me as well, just doing it.
So now for people at home and people are going to see the podcast and see this online, where can they hear more from you? I don't know if you have messages online, and if they want to pour into your ministry, how can they have the opportunity to do that?
RidingHighMinistries.org is the website, and or you can Google Todd Pierce, Pastor PBR, and find us that way. But there's a lot of live videos. It shows what we do at the PBR events as far as a faith night. It also shows stuff that we do in the prisons and international missions. There's a lot of ways for people to get involved. Obviously, when you want to reach people, you got more opportunities than what you've got finances for. And so encourage people to find a way to be a part of it, because it's rare. It's really rare to see this number of athletes be this excited about impacting communities. And I put it this way, we got more to offer as a PBR than entertainment. We've got revelation, and we've got encouragement, and we've got hope for communities. And so we just want to be able to translate that message any way we can.
Thank you so much, Todd. Again, this is Crystal Rae with Cowboy Lifestyle Network and the Rodeo Roundup. We're here in Las Vegas with Todd Pierce. Thanks a lot.